Welcome back, my Duelist friends. Casual Duelist. And it's Friday. Friday means we're finally at the Moi Deck profile. So just real quick, I'm going to double check myself. That is 20 card deck for the main. We have side, we have extra, we have skills. Let's get it, my friends, because it's almost the weekend, and I want you guys to go out and be able to enjoy the rest of your time, okay? So the first thing we're going to need is we're going to need the brand new Belowski skill card. If we can get a little bit, can I get a morsel of focus? There we go. Flip this over when you activate the skill, and this guy was the most chill. He was like, okie dokie, Mokey, remember? So the skill is Mokey Madness. You apply the following skill. So, 1. If all monsters you control are Mokey monsters, minimum of 1 monster, effect monsters cannot attack the turn they are summoned. Then, static. Once per duel, if you control 2 or more fairy types, you may place 1 Mokey continuous spell from your deck face up in your spell and trap zone. If you do, destroy 1 monster you control. Once per duel, you may discard 1 card to fusion summon 1 Mokey King from the extra deck, using cards from hand and field as material. So, there's a lot to unpack. This searches out your SmackDown. This benefits you in the fact that you can just go ahead and make fusions happen. And it means we don't have to carry a catalyst in the main deck to play the king. So all of that's good. Let's go into the main deck, right? So I'm going to play 6 monsters. It's going to be 6 Mokeys. So for those of you who know Candy, this is the Angelic Chicklet with Wings. This is just a basic fairy. It's 300 by 100. He's 1 star. Light fairy. It's cool. He's got the most blank expression. He looks like a Sanryu friend. Looks like he should be hanging out with Hello Kitty. And, that's the only one I actually know by name. So there's that. Second, we got the Mokey Adrift. So this is not exactly new to us. I think this card's been out for at least a year. Has to have been. Because nothing in Speed Duel is ever new. Just new to the format. And the way this works is this card's name becomes Mokey and is treated as a normal monster while face up on the field or in the graveyard. It's good to know. You can discard this card. If you do, add 1 Mokey card from your deck to your hand except Adrift. So this is good because we can actually get SmackDown off of this as well. Or you can go ahead and just grab like a regular Mokey. Again, since it counts as a normal, I don't remember if Dark Factory Master Production is currently in Speed Duel or not. But things like Pot of Avarice, Jar of Avarice, these cards would also allow you to put these monsters back in your main deck. So that's it, again, like I said, for the monster count. The next card we need to do is we need to get our SmackDowns out. So the way SmackDown works, continuous spell. If a face-up fairy you control is destroyed while you control a Mokey, until the end of the turn, each Mokey you control will become 3,000 points. So again, pretty fantastic card, right? There's a whole thing. I will explain this all at the end. There's a whole reason why you'd need this. And then the last spell card we're going to use 3 MSTs. Because again, like I said last video, this is until we get a ban list that puts this card in check. You're silly if all 3 copies aren't somewhere in your deck inside. There's no benefit, or there's no drawback to playing this card. It's all benefit. So again, it'll help us with the back row. Next up, we're going to go to traps. Because again, sometimes you're not going to open right, but we can change things. So first off, again, before I show you Justy Break, I need to remind you, Adrift counts as normal on the field and in the graveyard. So by playing Justy Breaks, we get to say that when an opponent's monster declares an attack on one of ours, and again, our guys have only got 300 attack points. They're going to attack them. Destroy all monsters on the field except attack position normal monsters. So unless your opponent is also playing a vanilla beat deck, chances are you're just going to go ahead and punish them for attacking you. This is the better option. Of course, you guys could play the spot Sakuretsu Armor here. This would be a great use for the trap card. And then our last 6 traps are all trap monsters. So we're going to be using 3 copies of Quantum Cat and 3 copies of Swamp Mirror. Now, the way this works is you activate either one of these by declaring a monster type and an attribute. So we get to play these as doesn't matter / fairy. This helps us trigger the Mokey Madness. This could be the second fairy type. We can go ahead, we can pop this. The regular Mokey or the Mokey Adrift can turn into a 3K chicklet with an attitude problem. Either way, you will special summon the monster as either a 0 by 2200 defense or as an 18 by 1000 defense. With the type and attribute, these will still be considered traps, but these are also considered normal monsters. These work with the Justy Break as well. So again, what we can do, since we can guarantee fairies all through the deck, and they're traps, and we can do the Justy Break when our opponent does the initial attack, and we could flip this up, and we could summon another one of these, and then we could use this to be broken through the Mokey Madness after adding the Smackdown to the field face up. We can make 2 chicklets get to 3K per, and we can smack opponent for 6K. This is a format where we only start with like 4,000 hit points. So this is a pretty cool Mokey Smackdown. Now this is just the main deck. So real quick, I'm gonna advise that you guys take the snapshot, screenshot, or just pause the video and make some quick notes. And I'll be right back. I'll give you guys the extra deck and the side deck in just a moment. All right. And we are gonna start with the side deck. The side deck is pretty similar to our last side deck. We are going to be using 2 copies Dahlgren. This is actually kind of a mistake. We do not actually need to summon these, plus we don't actually have a way to run these over. So I'm going to quick mod here on video. We're going to change those to 2 Sakuretsu armors. You could also use Lost Wind here. It doesn't matter. I did like Dahlgren for some reasons, but not in this build. There's no real way to consistently take advantage of it. That said, we're going to dip into the 3 ofs. We're going to grab a couple Books of Moon. Again, optionally shutting off cards is great. Could this have worked well with the Dahlgren? Maybe. But you could just book anything else too, so it's not that big of a deal. And then last but not least, 2 copies Waking the Dragon. Because again, when MST is out to play, there is no reason why we should not be actively seeking a way to utilize our entire extra deck by punishing the opponent for being too aggressive against our back row. So again, you look at our back row, they're like, well, maybe I'll get the MST, maybe we'll break the Justy Break, maybe we can get to one of the trap monsters real quick. But instead, it was Waking the Dragon. And now we've got big monsters. So those big monsters could be Blue Eyes Ultimate Dragon, Cyber End Dragon, Destiny and Dragoon, Ojama King, or Thousand Eyes Restrict. So again, we can freeze up the battlefield. We can suck up a monster. We can start smacking them around with that. We can take away their monster zones, do some spot destruction and burn damage. Biggest Piercer and the biggest monster available. And then, of course, just a copy of the King. Like, it's good to be King, so you need the Mokey King. And very similar to Blue Eyes Ultimate. I don't know if you notice this. It takes 3 of the exact same monsters. So 3 Mokeys. While this face-up card leaves the field, and it doesn't matter how, you can special summon as many Mokey as possible from your graveyard. Now, in the advanced formats of Yu-Gi-Oh!, this could actually be pretty darn crazy because leaving the field could be using this as a link material and then just spamming out 5 more monsters into the back row. And as you all know, Mokeys are perfect for things like link spiders. And the Mokey Adrifts, well, they help you get in anything that requires it to be an effect monster. So again, pretty cool stuff. Probably one of the reasons, well, it's not the reason Link Karibo got it. Link Karibo got hit because he's just too good. But Mokey King can actually help you outside of the speed duel format because of this. And again, additionally, if we were to summon in this, and we can do this with the Mokey Madness, if we pitched a card, summon this, then we were able to play another fairy, whether it's one of our trap monsters or another one of our little base chiclets. We'd go ahead and we'd pop one of our cards. Again, it could be the king. In order to generate this smackdown. And at that point, you're dealing with being able to replace himself with up to as many as you could fit, which again would be 3 in this instance. So as long as you had another chiclet already on the field, we're talking about honestly being able to board 3K chiclets and go after like advanced format duelist type hit points by being able to do 3 attacks at that level. Is it as probable as just beating him up with 1 or 2 of these? Probably not. But we do have Waking the Dragon. We could summon this guy. We could summon this at the beginning without having to use the madness. Then we could go ahead and summon like one of our little chiclets. And we could do what we want to do. And again, as long as you play some Adrifts and you send them to the discard pile, you can do what you want in order to get the cards you want to play. To do this. Now, if you were going to pack a second Mokey King because of this ability, maybe take out the Restrict and go 2 Kings and then these 4 over here. Also probably viable. So that's it. I hope you guys enjoyed this. I hope that this hit just right because this was a request. I hope I nailed it. I'm sure you guys will let me know down in the comment section. But for now, I want you guys to all focus on having an excellent weekend. We have a good spotlight coming up for you guys on Sunday. And at the time of filming this, I'm still working on another Edison build for this next Monday. So you guys have an excellent day. Do the things, don't do the things, do the one thing. Take care of yourselves. Be well. Go enjoy life. And I hope to see you guys on the next one. Later.